Heather, Karen. Hello, everyone in YouTube. Welcome. I'm Dr. Kim Duramo. So we're broadcasting in the Mind Body community on Facebook, and I've also started sharing in YouTube Live, which is super fun. Today, I'm going to talk about the power of story. What are you making things mean? Whether it's your past and what's happened in the past, what's happened to you, the things you think were a big mistake, or like this whole right and wrong idea that actually can have a huge impact on what you're experiencing right now, an impact on what's going on in your cells, affecting your health. If you've had chronic illness, disease, anxiety, depression, fatigue, pain, or even like an obscure illness where there's no name for it, or they just make up a name for it. And you kind of feel like this is something just beyond the physical. This isn't just a physical explanation. There's something else that's going on. One of the places to look is the stories you're telling yourself. We have seen for a very long time that our beliefs, our emotions, the ideas we hold have a really powerful and immediate impact on what's happening in our cells. So I'm a physician who has studied for decades about this mind-body connection, about how what we think or what we feel or what's happened in our past can be carried with us and affect us today. And for all of the people that I've seen with chronic illness that's not getting better, meaning, it's not like you just have this problem, get treated, you're good. It's like, whoa, this just isn't going away. Why am I still sick? Why am I getting worse instead of better? Why does this become a bigger and bigger problem the more I try to fix it? For virtually all of those people that I have seen, there has always been an emotional component going on, meaning there are subconscious emotions stuck and stored in the body. And a lot of this has to do with the stories you're telling yourself. So hello, everyone who's joining. I love hearing where you're tuning in from. Hey, and I want to give a shout out to everyone who's listening to the recording. I know there's a lot more people who listen to the recording. I welcome your comments as well. Okay, so first I would like you to start with, what are you experiencing as your greatest problem or challenge? Whether it's a physical health problem, or it's like an obscure health problem, like you just really don't feel good, but no one's found anything physically wrong. Or you're experiencing a challenge like, wow, every guy I meet, they just kind of, ghost me. And after a few nice dates, I never hear from them again. Or, geez, I can never quite make enough money. I'm always finding that I'm just barely cutting it. I'm scrambling to make ends meet. Or, no matter what I do, something good happens and then something bad, it goes away. Like, what are the biggest challenges that are coming up in your life right now? Because these are going to mirror the story you're telling yourself. So I know for me, and I've been sharing recently about this, I recently started mountain biking. And we live in a place that's like the mountain biking capital of not just US, but like maybe everywhere. And to not mountain bike, I was like, it's kind of just a matter of time. I'm going to get into this. But I was really scared. So first it was like, well, I'm busy. I have a lot going on. We have the kids. I'm working. It's not on my agenda right now. And then it was like, yeah, this would be really cool, but what if I break my body? I was really, really scared. And I didn't realize a lot of the stories I was holding about myself until I really went into that fear. Now, I'm not saying just push yourself to do the thing you're afraid to do. But for me, there was a yes, there was a calling, there was an inspiration. Oh, this will be awesome. And then there was like, oh, wait a minute, I can't do this. So even just, I can't do this was kind of part of my story. I would see other women mountain bikers and think, oh my God, she is awesome. And then there was this little sub story underneath it, and I could never be that. Or, oh my God, that's so badass. Oh, but that's not something I could do. And I didn't realize how akin this was to so many women who tell me, well, yeah, I know you're healthy and you cured yourself from an autoimmune disease, but that's not for me. I can't have that. I've been sick too long, or it's too severe for me, or I don't even remember what it feels like to feel good. That's too much for me to ask, or blah, 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 blah. But that they really, really bought into this idea, I can't have it. And now apply that to whatever. I can't have that kind of wealth. I can't have that kind of relationship. I can't have that kind of, fill in the blank. I had this, but I really didn't see it. And so when I started biking, the story came up really, really loudly. Didn't sound like a story. It just sounded like, you better not do this because something bad is going to happen. And after this one fall I took, which was before I had any like training, I was really hurt. And it wasn't just a physical thing. It was like shock in my body. And I could feel this shock, like it really shook me up. I was very unhappy and really upset. But I could feel this shock in my body was actually preventing my body from healing. Like I had this big bruise on my outside of my leg. It was swollen. And it felt not just like physical pain, it actually felt like this dense heaviness that like felt like this is not okay. And it wasn't till maybe a few days later, maybe almost a week, and I had this session with this person, Mark Romero, who does harmonics and uses music to use different frequencies to like release energy from the body to allow healing. And one of the things he did, because he's intuitive just like I am and does a really similar work that I do. So I was psyched to find him because I'm like, I want to have like what I'm doing, but I can't do this for myself. And so he said, it's time to let yourself move forward in your life. It's okay to move forward in your life. And in the receptive space I was in, like it really resonated, like, oh, I can let that story go. The idea, whatever it's about, known and unknown, about like my mother or, what's possible for me. And like, I can't have that. It's okay for you to move forward in your life. Immediately like broke the spell. And I felt like, oh, it's okay that I did this. And I realized I'd been holding this story. It was wrong that I did this. I shouldn't have done this. I did the wrong thing and I should be punished, which was preventing the area from healing. And it immediately went away when I aligned with, it's okay for me to move forward in my life. I immediately felt that whole area. It was over here in my hip. I felt the whole area right here completely like open. Like there was a release of energy. There was a relaxation. And I felt the area just totally begin to heal. And it wasn't like I didn't still have a bruise or it wasn't tender if I touched it. It just felt like a physical sensation. It didn't feel like that heaviness and all this other layer that was keeping that injury in place. It's like it was keeping the pain in place and the swelling in place and the inflammation in place. And that's exactly what happens in our body is all of our ideas and our beliefs and these stuck emotions we don't even realize we're holding are keeping the body from going through the healing process. So whether you've got like Epstein-Barr virus and it's chronic and you're not healing it, or Lyme disease and you've done, everything under the sun, but it's not, your body's not clearing it, or you've got like fibromyalgia and you're just holding so much tension in your body that is creating pain, or fill in the blank. Like I had an autoimmune disease many years back. Your beliefs, your stories have so much to do with how your body holds energy that prevents healing from happening. So I'm not going to show you the bruise right now, but it's better. I mean, it felt better right away, like in that very instant. That's how quickly our body can begin to heal. So I'd love to hear from you about like, what are the stories you've told yourself? What are the experiences of the limiting experiences you've had? And let's delve in and get a look at what's going on. All right. Oh, Shannon, I'm the first time I'm able to join. Yay. And Nicole, Alicia, Kimberly, Stephanie, ooh, a lot of people. Health challenges, Nicole says, financial, relationships, basically everything. Yeah, you definitely got a lot of stories, and we're going to delve into this just from, I know, communicating in the past. Ragnhild, watching from Norway. Mitchie says, I've had digestive issues caused by anxiety and overthinking for a while. Your videos help me so much. Thank you. Awesome. Rachel says, being ill for decades made me feel totally inadequate. That's a huge one that will come up, is this inadequacy. I had a friend the other day who's really having a big challenge where her husband, it's not actually a marriage, it's her father of her children, is like really abusive and alcoholic and, compulsive liar. And she's like, oh, well, he's still living in the house. I was like, what? Still living in the house? What's going on there? And I felt into her energy, and it was this, like, just this way she hides and doesn't really resource herself because she feels inadequate. And it can be totally unconscious. Like you could all day long, I'm worthy of love and belonging. But if this energy is unresolved and you're still kind of like suppressing it, You won't be consciously aware of it, but it will still affect your experiences, your body, your money, your relationship. And inadequacy is a huge one that will prevent us from being seen. Now, what does that look like? Well, to tell someone like, wow, sometimes I really feel like I'm not enough. Sometimes I really feel scared. Sometimes I really feel inadequate. That can be a big step. But what's happening that's a bigger problem is we're not even telling ourselves. No, I'm good. And like we overwork to distract so we don't ever notice that we really don't feel good. Or we get into one like drama relationship after another because it just keeps us so preoccupied because we don't really believe we're worthy of love. And so then we're not attracted to the person who's like, hey, I love you. Let's do this. Drama free, because it would make us be so present to what we're feeling. And so it's like, oh, I don't like that guy. No. I don't want to go with that guy. And then we choose the drama guy because it's going to keep us spinning. Well, we've subconsciously made the choice to avoid what we're really feeling. And when we're not willing to meet ourselves fully, our abundant, amazing life can't show up. So she says, I felt unworthy, and this led to years of hiding myself. I'm slowly learning to emerge, but still the inadequacy comes up at times when I compare myself to others. The problem isn't that the inadequacy comes up. The problem is, to what degree have you still been hiding? To what degree are you really willing to embrace, like, whoa, this bottomless pit of inadequacy? Because in the mind, it will feel like a never-ending, overwhelming, impossible thing. I have to avoid this. I have to fix this. I have to shut this down because it's just too big. It's never true. You're bigger. And if you can embrace compassion for what you've actually felt, it will break the spell. All right, let me see these comments. Suzette says, I wake up with nasty frontal lobe headaches 1 to 3 times a week. I can't figure out the cause. So go into, what do you feel when you have these headaches? Is it dread? Is it, oh God, I've tried so hard. Why isn't this getting better? Frustration? Is it, oh my God, maybe I have a brain tumor, or oh, are they getting worse? I think they're getting worse. Is it fear? Or like, oh, I might not be able to go to work tomorrow and my life will be over. Is it fear? Feel into if they're, what the emotions are that are behind it that come up along with the pain. Randy says, my story is that I can't have love that lasts or money that comes in fun and easy ways. Yeah, good to see. And so you can look at this, right? So here's a little tool. To look at the story. And even if you don't know what it's from, like I had a feel for what this whole story of I can't move forward in my life. Lots of stories about that. I'm just too big. I'm too much. If I unleash, well, the planet will blow up because I'm just way too much. So I gotta kind of keep the reins on. But a bigger part was around like going beyond what, like maybe my mother and what she wants me to be. Or, we kind of create all these crazy ideas, even if they're not really about that person, but just our perception of how someone just didn't want us. Maybe they feel intimidated by us. And so to get love, you've got to like stay small. And so all the ways I bought and sold this to myself, delete. All the ways known and unknown that I've locked myself into this story. I choose to release it. It's okay for me to let it go. But you've got to be conscious of it first. So even just as simple as all the ways known and unknown that I bought and sold this to myself, that this was true and that I had to abide by this story. All the ways I bought and sold that to myself. All the ways that's been locked into my nervous system. Delete. It's okay for me to let this go. I choose. Telling your cells like, body, it's okay to let this go. And everything will come up that's had you not let it go. Like, but then you're going to have to really feel the fear. Then you're going to have to really look at the inadequacy. Okay, so breathe in and breathe out. Now you can go deeper with this, with yourself when it arises, but be willing to be with it and breathe through it instead of do the go-to thing that has you distract from it or suppress it. Okay, so the tool to share is you look at your story. Here's the story. I can't heal. Like, write it down. Get your notebook. Write it down. Here's the story. The reason I can't heal is, and then just like whatever craziness comes out, because it's gonna sound like I wouldn't really believe that, but yeah, you've believed it. Because of this, because of that, because I did this wrong thing, because I'm just not good enough and that's how I am, blah, 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 blah. And then you want to look at that story. Okay, how does this make me feel? And like feel the energy of buying into that story. What do you feel when you live that story, or even just subconsciously buy into that story? And you take a few breaths and do this right now. What do I feel when I believe this is true? And on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is awesome, elated, free, and 1 is, oh my God, this is miserable. I can't even take it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how does the story make you feel? And I'd love to hear from you. And then write it down, and like acknowledge that. And then I want you to take in your other hand, like, what if this were not true? So here's my story, here's how it makes me feel. What if none of this were true? And I could be unconditionally free. What if the opposite were true? What if I am valuable beyond imagination? What if the opposite were true? What if I am more than adequate? I am more than enough for all the things I could ever want. What if the opposite were true? And then I just want you to feel that, like put that hand right on your heart. What if the opposite were true? What if the story completely dissolved? What if this wasn't even true and I could be free? Then I just want you to feel the resonance of that. And just take several breaths. Doesn't mean you have to believe it yet. Just feel the energy of it. And then I want you to tell me how that feels on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, the key to this tool is your body doesn't lie. Your body is a giant receptor. It can feel the resonance of your yes, and that will feel one way, and it can feel the resonance of your lie, oh, really small, and it's not okay, and I'll never make it, and it will actually shrivel. Like physically, your posture will kind of, you see some people who walk around like this. It's like you're physically saying, let me just hide. I don't want to be seen. And protecting, like, don't get too close to my heart because it's not okay. And then the opposite is like, oh, what if I just live like this? What would my life be like if I were willing to receive it like this? Arms back, chest out, chin up, open the chest. Your body doesn't lie. It will register truth versus lie. So all you have to remember is to notice what you feel. The main core of all my work in mind-body medicine is awareness. If you notice how you feel, you are going to buy out of those lies because they're going to kick you in the butt. It's because most of us are not aware that we just keep living them as if they're true. So have the awareness, like, whoa, I don't feel so great right now. What lie or story am I buying into that's holding me back? Okay, Kate, the biggest challenge, letting go of codependency, valuing others' treatment of me more than my own feelings. We're coming out with a empowerment MP3 set very soon, and there's a piece in there, specifically there's a piece around self-esteem, letting go of loneliness. There's another big piece in there around anchoring into serenity. Now, when I come into that space of serenity, I immediately align with the true source. The source that is me, that is within me. And when I align with that, I can feel love, I can feel joy, and I can share that joy with others. But when I make them my source, like I feel good as long as I'm with them. I feel good about myself as long as they love me. It's conditional. It'll come, it'll go, it'll never really ground because the source of true serenity is within you. So if you're in this codependence, where have I gotten off my center of serenity, abandoned myself, and gone over there to get the goods? I did this for a long time and had those kind of relationships until it was so unthinkably devastating that I woke up. And I'm like, the main constant here in all of these relationship catastrophes is me. What am I doing? And willing to see it without blaming myself, making myself wrong, just to get conscious. And what I saw was I was putting the goods over there. Like, yeah, I love myself. Where's my guy? Yeah, I'm going to do this self-love thing so I can get that guy. Because that's the prize. The prize is over there. And it was a huge awakening, and it really took being willing to meet myself. Because first it was like, well, that's boring. I'm just going to go out with myself. So that's like, is that what I really think about myself? It showed me what I really thought about myself. It showed me my relationship I had with myself, which was dismissive. Like, she's not all that. Got to go out and get the other thing. And I had to deepen and deepen and deepen and really commit to see myself and celebrate myself. I'm the prize. I am the awesomeness in my life. I'm the freaking bomb. And I finally got to know her and got to like love her and appreciate her and like totally like party with myself. Which doesn't sound like it's fun, right? It's like, but that's the wrongness where I was. Like, it was the whole gig. It was the whole thing. It was the, you going? It was the whole thing of what I was looking for. So if you're in codependence, that's at least a big part of what's going on. Nicole says, that's me. I can't have the wealth and health and amazing relationships I want. So what's the story, Nicole? What's the story? Why? If you were to ask the part of you that does know, why do I think I can't have this? Go deeper. Okay, Tisby. I'm sorry if I don't say your name right. Anger is right now the biggest problem for me. I don't want to speak with anyone. It's dangerous to be alone. Everyone needs help sometimes. No matter how present or compassionate I am to my anger, I'm not moving forward. Oops. All right, share more about that. So if you were willing to acknowledge the anger and be with the anger, like what is it you're actually angry about? Anger will always cover fear or shame. Fear, like, it's really not okay, but I'm pissed off that it's not okay and it shouldn't be this way. And then you use anger to not actually go into the fear because feels too big. Or inadequacy, shame. I'm not good enough. And screw you if you think I'm not good enough. So you fight against, you like project it outside of you and fight. But let me hear more about that. So are you willing to look deeper beneath the anger? Stephanie, does this also coincide with depression and anxiety? 1,000%. If I have this story like, I'm not okay and I'll never be okay, I'm going to be afraid of everything, especially the things that are inviting me to move forward. Like, I meet a new guy and it's like, oh, this could be awesome. Oh, wait, no, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's not going to be awesome. And so I'll actually hold back in that relationship. And then that's what will happen. The guy's going to go away because he's like, well, I thought you were going to be who you are, and I'm looking for that girl, and you're not willing to be that. So it is going to dissolve, and then you're going to justify it by saying, yep, it's because there's no good guys out there. Yep, it's because I never get good guys. Yep, it's because I'm really not good enough, and so no one wants to be with me. And you'll propagate the story that you've already made up. And like everything will prove, no matter if you think you can or you can't, you are right. And there's a quote by Henry Ford. When I was in college, I came across that, and I had it on a paperweight on my desk. And it's the same thing. You will always prove your story right until you awaken beyond it. Everything in your life will prove your story right. So it's not a matter of being right. It's like, would you rather be happy or be right? Would you rather have love or be right? And until you're willing to choose love over being right, which is just a protective mechanism, you won't have love. And you will be right. You'll be right about all the ways you can't have it. Elena, the I am not enough or not worthy story. Good. Ragnald, I felt stuck and unworthy in health and happiness for years. Kind of sick feeling like this. I need to release it. Stephanie, I have chronic pain. Feel a lot of it stems from my own worries and problems. Yes. Well, so where are you making yourself wrong with that? Because there's a layer of like, you're making yourself wrong. So what's right about this I'm not getting is my body's on board for me waking up. My body's like, no, don't buy it. And it's screaming. And that's what I feel. Because when we suppress our story, we suppress our fear, we suppress our shame. Thank God our body's on board to be like, don't do that. You're amazing and unlimited. And it will create the physicalization of that so we can see it. It doesn't create the physical illness because we really do suck, because life really doesn't have it in store for us, because we really don't deserve it. It creates the physical illness because it's like, wake up, listen, to physicalize what we don't see so we can see it and say thank you. I'm ready to wake up. I'm ready to see this. So don't make yourself wrong. Joanne, boy, is that the truth. Keep avoiding what we're feeling. Okay, TSV, anger is right now the biggest problem. Oh, okay. The idea is, what story could I be telling myself that's stopping me from moving forward? Or just, how can I move forward? So it's worth looking at. So one great question is, what would it take for me to move forward? What would it take for me to release this pattern and be free? And you don't have to have the answer. It's about feeling the resonance of that. So just breathing. What would it take for me to release this pattern and be free? And then just tell every cell in your body, yes, yes, yes to this. I believe in myself. I'm starting the journey. It's okay for me to be free. And yes to everything that contributes to that. The things that contribute to it may be that you feel your pain more as it releases. So don't make what happens wrong. Receive everything that is part of that expansion and move through it, not away from it. Jen, how about allergies? I wake up daily with congestion. Do you feel into emotions for allergies too? Yeah. So if it is like a chronic thing, because either there'll be a solution like, oh, let me just get a humidifier, or let me get an air purifier. Feel into like a simple thing. But if it feels like, oh, that'd just be such a pain. It doesn't feel like an easy fix. What's coming up? Is there frustration? Is there annoyance? Is there allergies? Yeah, so because they can serve to distract you from actually soaring forward into your fullest expression. So if you're like, I'm gonna leave my job, I'm gonna go do this new thing, and here I am, and then you're like, oh, I feel like crap all the time. Is there a belief, I can't really have it all. I can't really move forward. I can't really be seen. So letting others see who you are, and like, here I am. I can't really receive wealth and abundance and love and like everything that comes along with that. Just look at all of those things and ding them out. It's okay for me to receive love and belonging. It's okay for me to be unlimited. It's okay for me to let everyone see the truth of who I am. That can actually clear up what's happening with allergic responses. Tammy, I made it back. Woo. All right, Tisvi, I've had a constant tension headache for over 7 years where the muscles actually move. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how much the physical body will respond to these stories. Hi, Melissa. Danielle Kelly. Oh my gosh, I went to high school with Kelly. How cool. Kate, Martha. Joanne says, I always love hearing your story. Great reminder. Nicole, it's impossible for me to heal, to have it all. I'm not worthy enough. Yeah, good. Call that story out. What is this story I've been living? And then see it objectively. I can't have that. It's not okay. I'm in a bad relationship, but it's not okay to leave because this person's not, it's not a nice thing to do. Like, what things are you buying into that are really killing you? It's not okay to do that because I have to be a better person. I have to be more giving and I have to be more loving. Sometimes we think, especially empathic people, that because we're so connected in source, that we're highly sensitive, we have a lot of awareness, that we like need to go around and save people, that we're somehow better than them, so we need to give away our gift and like give them this help because they don't have it. And that is the worst, that's the biggest reason people stay small and get depleted helping others, is because you're seeing them small and incapable. And what does that mean? You're capable. And so of course you should be going around saving everyone. And so you'll stay in all these relationships for years and years and years, depleting yourself, not allowing joy, because you believe this story that like you should save that person and they're not okay. They need you. So Nicole, I've been sick for so long. This is just the way it is. I have to deal with it. Okay, so do the exercise. Feel in the one hand. Here's the story, because your body will know truth versus lie. Here's the story. Well, I've been sick for so long, it's just never gonna get better. Feel the resonance of that. How does it register physically? How do you feel mentally? How do you feel emotionally? 1 to 10. 10 is, I feel amazing, I feel free. 1 is, I wanna get off the planet right now, I can't stand it. Where do you feel when you buy into this story? Because you'll just register, is this true? Truth will always set you free. Truth will always feel expansive. How does it feel when you buy into this? And then what if the opposite were true? So flip it. What if none of this were true at all? and everything's available to me, and I am worthy, and I am amazing, and I am beautiful, and I am unconditionally loved. And if I would just choose to unconditionally love myself, I would begin feeling better right away. So I want you to tell me how you feel with A and with B. Alicia, my biggest issues right now are not loving what I do for a living and knowing I have a higher purpose, but not having the clarity yet on what that looks like, as well as relationships. There aren't many people I enjoy being around. I think this is all coming from a story I've told myself that I'm not worthy to receive. And this has been coming up a lot lately. Okay, so Alicia, what are you anchored into, known and unknown, that are keeping you living this story? Whether it's like, well, I won't be able to relate to my family anymore. They won't even know who I am. And so there's like, it registers in the amygdala as a true threat. Because when we're a little baby, it really feels like a threat. I won't be fed, I won't be loved, I won't be nurtured. I gotta follow along and align with these people and their consciousness. And then 20 years later, it's like, that's not even true anymore, but I'm still buying into it. Like, you know, the elephants, little baby elephants, they have like a big rope around them, and it's too high for them to cross over. And it's too strong for them to break through. And so they try and they finally learn and get it in their heads, like, this barrier is not, I cannot get beyond this barrier. Done. Conclusion made, and I'm going to operate within that reality. But now they grow and they're big, big elephants. They could easily walk right over the rope, and they could easily squish the rope and break the rope and get through. They don't re-question the conclusion. And that's why elephants, they say elephants have the best memory, but it's because these conclusions get locked into the brain and we don't question them. And we're just like those baby elephants. Where have you made conclusions about who you are and what's possible? And so I've got to buy into the consciousness that my family's in, or I'm not safe. Whatever, it might be something like that. And then let your body know, body, it's okay to let them go. It's okay to be my own person, because that's unknown. And that's scary. Just like me on the mountain bike, like, no, I definitely shouldn't do this. It's gonna register as fear, but if you breathe through it and let your body know it's okay to be who I am. It's okay to let the unknown come through, because who you are is different than anyone you've ever met. It's okay to let the unknown come through and show me the way. Okay, Tisvi, I've had constant tension. I think I already saw that. I'm constantly, on purpose, creating distance between me and others. Yeah, so noticing that and seeing, like, is this serving me? Am I ready to let this go? Elena, I'm having vestibular flares that come with stress and keep me stuck. I'm not sure how to release it. So you're getting like dizziness, tinnitus. Elaine, oh, hold on. Randy, I'm so grateful for the timing, just what I need. Has my life feels like it's imploded right when I was expanding and choosing more. Yeah. I lost the job that was paying my rent, and the first man that I've truly loved and been loved by just left me. This is very helpful for me to hear. Good. Yeah, and there can be stories around that too. Like, I really should be with that guy, but I messed it up. So how does it feel when you tell yourself that story? It's always going to feel awful. Or we had a conversation yesterday I think it was in the Awakened Practitioner program about money, and about how many of us have this story like, well, I made this mistake, or I made this bad investment, or I spent this money, I lost this money. And I've always looked at it as, this was the best investment I could have made because of the clarity it brought. You're never going to do that again. And it doesn't matter if it costs you $40,000 to know, receive it. None of these things are a mistake. When I tell myself the story like, oh, I really shouldn't have done that, and then I'm like still paying the price, it will feel awful. But if I tell myself, nope, that's exactly what I needed to do, it's perfect, I did it like this, it doesn't matter if I'm paying off that credit card month after month, I can say thank you, thank you, thank you, because of how much clarity it's brought me with making decisions going forward, really investing in the things that serve me. All right. Stephanie, yeah, so the truth lie thing is really powerful. Feel the essence and the resonance of that story, and then feel the opposite. What if this weren't true? What if the opposite were true? Your body always knows the difference between a truth and a lie. Daily chronic fibromyalgia, telling myself I can't have it all. Elaine says, I was made to feel like I was bad since being a child. I'm working on changing it, but it seems like a long journey. So stop working on it. What if you could just dump it? What if you could just let your cells know, nope, I'm awesome no matter what I feel, no matter what I experience. All right, and go Den. So much as a rescuer because I couldn't save my ex, which I realize represents my sick mother. I keep myself sick for that reason. So what if you could let everyone go? We're doing a call. I guess we can add one more day if people do want to register for this, but we're doing a call on this for the Mind Your Body program. We had our first live call yesterday, and it's all about letting go of other people's energy. This is like a bonus thing I'm doing in there because it's such a huge theme for so many of us who are highly sensitive, that we're empathic and we take energy on and we're carrying everyone. And it's like, I got to save people. And you're living your whole life according to that story. And there's 4 huge premises. One that I covered, I think, last week in the live. If you could let go of making yourself wrong. Doesn't mean you don't do things that you change your mind, like, nope, I'm not going to do it that way anymore. But you don't need to make yourself wrong. But the other one is not to make what's happening wrong. So, like, let other people have their pain. You have had your pain. It has assisted your awakening. Let them have their pain. The worst thing you can do is try to take other people's experiences away, because that's really the thing that's assisting them from awakening. Okay, so yes, go Den, you should forgive yourself. Forgive myself to buy in, or forgive my mother because she's had me buy in. No one has had you buy in. You actually, maybe unconsciously, made a choice somewhere along the way, and you can make a new choice. So if you are choosing today to still buy into it because she made you buy in, you're the one choosing it. You're the one choosing to continue, and you can make a new choice. So get yourself off the hook, get them off the hook. Okay. So look at that. Look at the symptoms you're having, and Alana, I'm reading what you're talking about. Feel the emotions behind it, and then feel, what am I making this mean? When I did the landmark forum a long time ago, they talked about, like, what's the meaning of life? And they said, it has no meaning. It's the meaning you give it. It doesn't mean anything that it doesn't mean anything, because everyone would freak out like, what do you mean? Of course it means something. No, it doesn't mean anything that it doesn't mean anything. Don't make a story about that. The meaning of life is, it's here for you to project upon so you can see yourself. You can see your beliefs, you can see your ideals, you can see your stories, you can see all of it. And life is this beautiful representation of that for you. So be willing to see the only meaning anything has is the meaning I give it. And would I be willing to give it the meaning that's aligned with the truth? Truth will always set you free. It will always feel resonant in your body. Would I be willing to align with giving it the meaning of the truth, which is, I am unconditionally worthy of love and belonging, and I can allow myself to be free. All right, a couple more comments on YouTube. Kim, I'm going through so much anger and hate toward my body because I've got Lyme and tinnitus. How do I stop the tinnitus? It's not about stopping the symptoms. It's about the relationship you have with your body. This is wrong. This shouldn't happen. My body's bad. My body's betrayed me. How do I fix my body? How do I control my body? That control, or need to control, creates a lot of tension in the physical body. And that physical tension, especially in the teeniest little mechanisms in the inner ear, will it'll prevent fluidity. It'll prevent new frequencies from integrating. It'll prevent you from receiving health, wealth, restoring, because life comes through us, not from us. And if you have all that tension, life can't move through and restore your body. So if you're angry at your body, that's kind of the core of the whole thing. All right, everyone, so much love. In the link for MYB, I'll leave it one more day because we started our first call yesterday, but it's drkimd.com/MYB. We'll be live over the next 6 months. That I think is one of the most powerful programs I've created. And right now we're doing some live calls with it, my husband and I both together. And yesterday's was truly, truly, truly remarkable. So if you are interested in going deeper into the work I'm doing, I would certainly invite you into that program. It will be one of the best investments you can make if that resonates with you. All right, I'm at drkimd.com. We'll be here every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain for Mind Body TV. We have a lot of exciting things that we're moving into. You know, the planetary frequency is increasing. So you're going to feel things more intensely, not less. The point is to develop more resilience, not better ways of suppressing it. Be ready, because life is full on right now, and be willing to welcome that resilience so that you can receive all of it and move through it fluidly. So much love to you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.